Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Amber and Tyler's Dialogue. I'm Amber Ellsworth, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Tyler Ashcroft. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to the conversation. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Patreon, and more. All the links are waiting for you in the episode description. So, Tyler, today we're diving into something that's really reshaping India's place on the global tech stage.
Absolutely, Amber. You know, when people think of India's tech scene, they often picture call centers or software developers, and this might surprise you, India is quickly becoming one of the world's leading sources of cybersecurity talent. I mean, think about it. The country is facing a tidal wave of cyber attacks, but it's also responding by training up a generation of digital defenders who are making waves internationally.
It's wild, right? Imagine this. India is now home to a cybersecurity industry that's not just protecting its own digital borders, but actually powering data protection for companies and governments all over the world. And the speed at which this is happening is just staggering. We're talking about a landscape that's evolving faster than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, and here's something that really blew my mind. India is already handling a double-digit share of the world's cyber attacks. Yet, instead of just playing defense, Indian talent is stepping up, innovating, and actually exporting cybersecurity expertise to the rest of the planet. That's a pretty big deal, especially when you consider how much the world relies on digital infrastructure.
Exactly. And as we'll explore today, this isn't just about technology, it's about people. The skills, the innovation, and the sheer determination of India's cybersecurity professionals are making a mark far beyond their borders. So, if you're curious about how India is shaping the future of data protection, stick around because we're just getting started.
And if you're enjoying the conversation so far, don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. All the links to join our community are right there in the description. Now, let's dig deeper into this fascinating story.
So, Tyler, before we really dig into the talent and innovation, let's set the stage. What's been happening in India that's made this cybersecurity boom possible? I mean, it's not just about having smart people. There's a whole ecosystem at play, right?
You know, Amber, you're spot on. Over the past decade, India has been going through a digital transformation that's honestly hard to overstate. We're talking about a country that's not just embracing technology, but really racing ahead with it. Mobile internet, digital payments, cloud computing, you name it. It's all about making life easier and more connected for hundreds of millions of people.
Right, and with that explosion in digital activity comes a whole new set of challenges. I mean, think about it. Every time someone makes a payment online or a business moves its operations to the cloud, there's a potential vulnerability that bad actors can exploit. So, as digital India grows, so does the need for robust cybersecurity.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting is that India is not just reacting to these threats, it's actually building a whole industry around protecting against them. The cybersecurity market here has been growing at a pace that's caught a lot of people's attention. We're seeing more and more companies, both Indian and international, investing in cybersecurity solutions. And that's driving innovation and job creation like never before.
That's a great point. And it's not just the private sector. The government's been stepping up too. There's a whole new set of laws and regulations being put in place to make sure that businesses and individuals are protected online. It's a real balancing act between encouraging innovation and making sure people's data is safe.
Yeah, and those regulations are really starting to shape the industry. Companies now have to be much more careful about how they handle customer data, and that's pushing everyone to up their game when it comes to cybersecurity. It's creating a culture where security is seen as a priority, not just an afterthought.
And let's not forget the global context. India is not just a huge target for cyber attacks. It's also becoming a key player in the global fight against cybercrime. Indian talent is being tapped by companies and governments all over the world, and that's a testament to how far the country's come in such a short time.
Honestly, it's a bit of a paradox. India's digital boom has made it a magnet for cyber threats, but it's also turned the country into a powerhouse for cybersecurity talent. And that's what we're going to dig into next. How this talent is not just meeting local needs, but actually shaping the future of data protection worldwide.
You know, Tyler, when we talk about digital transformation, it's not just about the big cities. Even in smaller towns and rural areas, mobile internet and digital payments are becoming part of everyday life. That means more people are coming online, more businesses are digitizing, and, let's be honest, more opportunities for cyber criminals. But it also means there's a growing awareness about the importance of cybersecurity at every level of society.
Totally, Amber. And that's where India's education system comes into play. There's been a real push to train up the next generation of cybersecurity professionals, with universities and private training centers offering specialized courses. It's not just about coding anymore. Now, young people are learning how to protect systems, spot vulnerabilities, and respond to cyber threats. That's a pretty big shift in mindset.
Right, and it's not just about the technical skills. There's also a growing emphasis on ethics, privacy, and compliance. Companies are realizing that cybersecurity isn't just a tech issue, it's a business issue, and a legal one too. So you've got people from all kinds of backgrounds getting involved, which is making the industry more diverse and robust.
Yeah, and let's not forget the role of startups. India's tech startup scene is absolutely buzzing, and cybersecurity is one of the hottest areas for innovation. We're seeing new tools and solutions being developed every day, from advanced threat detection to privacy-focused apps. It's a really exciting time to be part of this ecosystem.
Absolutely. And with all this growth, there's a real sense of community too. Cybersecurity professionals are sharing knowledge, collaborating on projects, and even mentoring the next generation. It's not just about competition, it's about building a safer digital world together.
You know, Amber, I think that's what makes India's cybersecurity story so compelling. It's not just about the numbers or the technology. It's about people. People who are passionate, innovative, and committed to making a difference.
Couldn't agree more. And as we'll see in the next section, that passion and innovation are having a global impact. But before we move on, let's just take a moment to appreciate how far India has come and how much potential there still is for growth.
Absolutely. And if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to share it with your friends or leave us a comment. All the links to our community and social channels are in the description.
All right, Tyler, let's really get into the heart of this story, the people and the innovation that are driving India's cybersecurity boom. Because honestly, it's not just about the technology or the regulations, it's about the incredible talent pool that's emerging here.
Absolutely, Amber. You know, when you look at the numbers, and I know we said we wouldn't throw too many at you, but just the sheer scale of India's cybersecurity workforce is mind-blowing. We're talking about thousands of new professionals entering the field every year. And not just in basic roles, these are experts in cloud security, ethical hacking, incident response, you name it.
Right, and what's really fascinating is how global the demand for this talent has become. I mean, it's not just Indian companies hiring these experts. We're seeing organizations from the US, Europe, and even Asia setting up shop in India or partnering with Indian firms to tap into this pool. It's like India has become a go-to hub for cybersecurity talent on a global scale.
Yeah, and let's talk about those Global Capability Centers, or GCCs as they're called. These aren't just back office operations anymore. They've evolved into real innovation centers where teams are developing cutting-edge solutions for data protection and threat detection. It's a far cry from the old stereotype of outsourcing. Now it's all about co-creation and leadership.
Exactly, and the work being done in these GCCs is like world-class. We're seeing Indian teams take the lead on projects involving artificial intelligence, machine learning, even blockchain, all applied to cybersecurity. It's not just about defending against threats. It's about staying ahead of them, anticipating where the next attack might come from.
You know, Amber, that's a great point. The threats are evolving so fast. AI-powered attacks, deepfakes, ransomware, and Indian cybersecurity professionals are right there on the front lines, developing new tools and strategies to counter them. It's a constant race, but it's one where India is really holding its own, and then some.
Yeah, and it's not just about technical skills. There's a real culture of continuous learning and upskilling in this industry. Professionals are constantly getting certified, attending workshops, and collaborating with global experts. It's a dynamic, fast-moving field, and Indian talent is thriving in it.
That's so true. And let's not forget the collaborative spirit here. We're seeing partnerships between industry, academia, and even government agencies. It's not just about competing for talent, it's about building ecosystems where everyone can learn, grow, and innovate together.
So, Tyler, as we look at all this, it's clear that India's cybersecurity boom is about much more than just numbers or market size. It's about a community of professionals who are passionate, skilled, and ready to take on the world's toughest digital challenges. And that's something we should all be paying attention to. Up next, we'll explore how all this talent and innovation is shaping the global landscape of data protection and what it means for the future. So, Tyler, after all this talk about India's cybersecurity talent and innovation, I think it's really worth stepping back and asking, what does this mean for the rest of the world? Because it feels like India's impact is reaching far beyond its own borders.
Amber, that's such a great question. Honestly, I think a lot of people still see India as a place where talent is, well, just filling in the gaps for other countries. But the reality is so much bigger than that. Indian cybersecurity professionals are actually shaping global standards and best practices. They're not just following, they're leading.
Exactly. And it's not just about the numbers, right? It's about the quality of the work being done. We're seeing Indian teams take on leadership roles in multinational companies, driving innovation in how we protect data, detect threats, and respond to incidents.
Yeah, and that collaboration is happening at every level. Think about it. Indian GCCs are working hand in hand with headquarters in the US or Europe, but they're also partnering with local startups, universities, and even government agencies. It's this whole ecosystem that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible in cybersecurity.
And that ecosystem is producing some pretty remarkable results. I mean, Indian cybersecurity experts are helping organizations around the world build resilience against cyber threats. They're not just fixing problems after they happen, they're helping companies anticipate risks and stay one step ahead.
Right, and that's huge for business resilience. In today's world, a single cyber attack can bring a company to its knees. But with Indian talent in the mix, organizations are able to recover faster, minimize damage, and keep their customers' trust. That's a competitive advantage that's hard to overstate.
So, Tyler, what do you think the future holds for India's cybersecurity sector? Because it feels like we're just at the beginning of something really big.
Well, Amber, honestly, the sky's the limit. We're already seeing trends like quantum computing and 5G security starting to emerge, and Indian talent is right there at the forefront. The country's focus on education, innovation, and collaboration is setting it up to be a global leader in these next-generation technologies.
That's so exciting. And for our listeners who are as fascinated by this as we are, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments or on social media. If this episode resonates with you, give it a like or pass it along to a friend. All the links to join our community are right there in the description.
Absolutely. And as we look ahead, it's clear that India's cybersecurity boom isn't just a local story. It's a global one. The talent, the innovation, and the spirit of collaboration are making a real difference for businesses and governments everywhere.
You know, Tyler, I've noticed something else that's really interesting. There's this growing sense of confidence among Indian cybersecurity professionals. They're not just solving problems for others, they're setting the agenda, defining what security looks like in a digital-first world. That's a huge shift from where things were even 5 or 10 years ago.
Totally, Amber. And it's not just about technical skills. There's a real emphasis on ethical leadership, on making sure that security solutions are inclusive and respect privacy. That's something that's really resonating with organizations around the world, especially as data privacy becomes a top concern for consumers and regulators.
Yeah, and that's leading to some fascinating partnerships. We're seeing Indian cybersecurity firms team up with global tech giants, but also with smaller companies and even nonprofits. It's all about sharing knowledge and building a safer internet for everyone.
Exactly. And let's not forget the role of Indian cybersecurity professionals in responding to global crises. Whether it's a major data breach or a new kind of ransomware attack, Indian teams are often among the first to respond, sharing insights and solutions with the global community.
That's a great point. It's not just about protecting India's own digital infrastructure, it's about contributing to global security. And that's something that really sets India apart. The country is not just a consumer of cybersecurity solutions, it's a producer, an innovator, and a leader.
And that leadership is only going to grow. As more and more businesses go digital, the demand for cybersecurity expertise is going to keep rising. India's focus on education and training means it's well-positioned to meet that demand, both at home and abroad.
So, what does this mean for the future? Well, I think we're going to see even more Indian cybersecurity professionals taking on leadership roles globally, shaping policies and driving innovation. The country's reputation as a cybersecurity powerhouse is only going to get stronger.
Absolutely. And that's something to celebrate. It's not just good news for India, it's good news for the world. A safer, more secure digital future is something we all benefit from.
And if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to share it with your friends or leave us a comment. All the links to our community and social channels are in the description. Thanks for joining us as we explore how Indian talent is powering global data protection. Up next, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts on what India's cybersecurity leadership means for all of us, and why this story is just getting started. Well, Tyler, we've covered a lot of ground today. From India's digital transformation and the explosion of its cybersecurity industry to the incredible talent that's making a global impact. It's been a fascinating journey, and honestly, I think it's clear that India is really stepping up as a leader in this space.
Absolutely, Amber. When you look at how far India's come in such a short time, it's hard not to be optimistic. The country's not just responding to the challenges of the digital age, it's shaping the future of data protection for the whole world. And that's a pretty big deal.
It really is. And what's so impressive is how this isn't just about technology or regulations. It's about people. Talented, dedicated professionals who are passionate about keeping our digital lives safe. That human element is what's driving this whole movement.
Yeah, and it's not just about today either. The culture of continuous learning, innovation, and collaboration that we're seeing in India's cybersecurity sector is setting the stage for even bigger things down the road. Whether it's quantum computing, 5G security, or whatever comes next, Indian talent is going to be right there at the forefront.
So, to all our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Patreon, you name it. All the links are right there in the description, and we'd love to have you as part of our growing community.
And if you've got thoughts or questions about India's cybersecurity boom, drop us a comment or reach out on social media. We're always excited to hear from you and keep the conversation going.
Thanks again, everyone. Stay safe, stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Amber and Tyler's Dialogue.